Nebraska hasn't just showed up, they've announced themselves. The Huskers show up this week at number 8 in the AP poll. This past week, the Huskers knocked off multiple Quad 1 opponents back to back, proving this isn't a fluke season. It's a statement. Nebraska went to Columbus and escaped with a narrow 72-69 road win over Ohio State, staying perfect and showing they can close out against top competition. Then, they followed that up with an impressive comeback win at Indiana, erasing a big deficit and keeping that undefeated streak rolling, further padding a resume that now includes 5 Quad 1 victories, tying for one of the best marks in the country. That's not just momentum, that's accountability. Nebraska's proven it can win the games that matter, and now coming into this Oregon matchup with confidence, experience, and a resume that says they belong in the elite conversation. What's up, guys? I'm Zach, and this is Big Red Fever. Today, we're going to be previewing tomorrow night's game where Nebraska takes on Oregon. Let's get into it.
What's up, guys? Fresh off that win against Indiana, 16-point comeback on the road. That's just almost unheard of in the Big Ten. It's so incredibly hard just to win on the road, and I think we're going to have a big win here tomorrow night. Coming back home after the road trip, I'm very confident about it. Will, what are you thinking about it?
No doubt about it. I think it's going to be a dogfight. This is not a game that Nebraska should really keep it close in, but nonetheless, I think Nebraska should win this game, no doubt.
I also agree with the fact that Nebraska should win this game. We've showed a lot of resilience in the last few games, and I just think that momentum is going to carry on. But I wouldn't be surprised if we start out a little bit slow because we usually do. But just know that the boys are going to fight hard and they're going to be resilient. So I think that'll carry us over the finish line.
Yeah, no, I agree. And just talking about the Indiana game a little bit, I mean, coming out that first half, come out down 9. Indiana gets a hot start in that second half. They go up by 16, and just Fred Hoiberg's adjustments at the half and this team's resilience as a whole has just been absolutely incredible this season, and it's been really fun to watch.
I really think you said it, the Fred Hoiberg adjustments. Just more and more proof that this man will be the coach of the year when it comes to March. I'm fully behind him now. I always have been, but man, just insane coaching show that he has every year.
Yeah, I'm going to add on to that a little bit. I mean, as we saw in that last Indiana game, it was a foul game. Indiana had problems with the fouls late in the game, and that's ultimately what led to Nebraska being able to make a comeback. And I think that this game could be very similar. I mean, Nebraska's on the home court. They're going to have the fans there in attendance. And I mean, I think if Oregon gets in foul trouble early in the second half, especially if Nebraska attacks that as Fred Hoiberg did last week against Indiana, this one won't be close.
Yeah. To add on to the fact about like the resilience part of it, we've had something that I've seen this year that I haven't seen out of other Nebraska teams is multiple players will step up. So like our great players will have some down days, and like as we saw against Indiana, Jamarcus Lawrence just stepping up and just taking control of the game. It was just unbelievable to watch. Like obviously we were down 16 at one point, and a lot of people that have watched Nebraska basketball are like, oh yeah, this might be our first loss. But those boys, I mean, they kept fighting. And just, I don't know. They know how to finish close games, which is something that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, and getting to this Oregon game a little bit. I mean, Oregon's got a lot of balanced scores that all average double figures. Talk about guys like Biddle, Shellstad, Bamba. They're really capable from three, but their efficiency will fluctuate. They all average in the mid 300s. Um, their ball movement is extremely critical over there. And on the defensive side, they're very aggressive. They have a high steal rate. They disrupt passing lanes very well, and but they occasionally they'll gamble too much. So, but and their perimeter defense too. It'll be leaky on occasion, and they'll struggle. So we'll see how we can attack it. But moving on, looking at who we think has the advantage in certain areas. I obviously think Nebraska has the advantage in every area, just with from an offensive, defensive, coaching, and a motivation perspective. Getting on the offensive side of the ball, Nebraska shoots better. They average a better percentage at the clip. Shooting from three, field percentage, and from a defense perspective, Nebraska obviously has the advantage just with guys like Sam Hoiberg. Oregon's top guard, it sounds like he might be out. Um, Jackson Shellstad, yeah, it sounds like he might be out this week. And then obviously from coaching and motivation perspective, don't really need to go too much into that. But I'll let you guys kind of talk about this.
Yeah, I really like the way you brought that up. Them being without their best guard is going to be huge. And I think that's really going to push us over because this Oregon team, they were 27th in the preseason poll. They were a Sweet 16 team last year, had a really good transfer class. They're supposed to be a really good team this year, and I still think they're dangerous. Like, you got to watch out for them. Nothing's easy, but I think them being without their best guard tomorrow night is really going to help us out. And obviously, coaching motivation as easily goes our way. Fred Hoiberg, best coach in college basketball, and even with these wins stacking up, they're not losing any motivation at all, no matter the opponent. Which I think actually says more about coaching, getting these players in the right mindset.
Yeah, I really agree with what you said about how Oregon still has a lot of fight in them. I mean, this is the Big Ten for crying out loud. No team is ever out of it. Like we saw Oregon make a deep run last year, going to the Sweet 16. And something I want to point out, if Shellstad does miss tomorrow night, Oregon's going to need some big guys to step up, and one of those is Takai Simpkins. And something I've just kind of noticed about him is there's been a couple games sprinkled in every couple weeks where he has just popped off being the leading scorer. Against Maryland, he had 16. Against Auburn, he had 22, which is a good SEC team. So, I mean, if Oregon wants any chance in this, especially without their best guard, they're going to need some guys to step up.
Yeah, I also agree. I also believe we're favored in every aspect, but I think the main one that really shows out to me is our defense. Our defense, just the scheme that we're running this year, I've seen a lot of offenses that have just been thrown off by it, and they tend to turn the ball over, which then turns into our offense just scoring a bunch of points. So I think the defense is going to be the main factor. If we can get them off kilter a little bit and just kind of shooken up, I think we can just take the game over right there.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely with our guard play defensively. I mean, guys like Sam Hoiberg and Jamarcus Lawrence, they attack passing lanes really well. They play really good on-ball defense. So I definitely think we have the advantage in that. And then another thing we really need to look at is Nebraska's ability to rebound. And that's something we've struggled with most of the year. That's probably one of the lowlights of our team, is the fact that teams get so many offensive rebounds against us. I mean, a team like Indiana out-rebounded us offensively and got a ton of second chance points opportunities. And that was one of the reasons that team was able to do so well against us.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the pros and cons we're looking at, like team comparison wise, I do think Oregon's biggest pro against us would be rebounding. But really, I think it all comes down to I think the player we need to look out for would be BK coming out there tomorrow night. He's been a beast on the rebounds this year. He's honestly, I don't think he's gotten enough love for how much he's been doing out there. He may not be out there scoring every single play or filling up the stat sheet, but those rebounds and that hustle he has out there is going to be huge. And I would love to see him play a lot of minutes tomorrow night because I think having him out there for the rebounds is going to be a huge key to victory for us.
Yeah, Brody. I mean, I really love how you brought up how BK is going to be a huge factor tomorrow night. I mean, if you look in the stat sheet, he's not always exploring or exploding it with points, but as Nebraska comes into this game, they're going to need their four leading scorers, Mast, Sanford, Frager, and Lawrence, but most importantly, it's going to be Sam Hoiberg and BK. Brian, to not only get a lot of just points on the board for them tomorrow night, but they're going to need, as we know, Sam Hoiberg, he's a glue guy. He gets steals. He gets rebounds. We're going to need those types of plays tomorrow night if we want to win this game.
Yeah, another thing to add on to the aspect of that is I think our bench is going to need to play really well. They played really well in Indiana. And so, yeah.
And a guy to look out for Oregon is Nate Biddle, the big man that they have. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Rink Mast. I mean, he can stroke it from deep, and he's an excellent shooter, good rebounder, and he can score inside as well. So that's definitely a guy that Nebraska's going to have to defend well. A guy like BK or a guy like Rink Mast. So.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is we all know for a fact he's not going to get any looks down low. We have the beautiful no middles defense. We're going to trap low, and we're going to force them to kick it out to potentially lazy passes that we can pick off or contested threes because teams playing against us average the second most 3-point shots attempted when they're playing against us, which is just huge because we watch the games. We know they aren't hitting them. We're forcing contested threes up because it's late in the shot clock, and the teams just can't get to the paint. And I think it's gonna be huge when we stop him down low. They're gonna get out for three, and they're just not gonna hit it. It's all gonna be on the rebounds, though. If we can get those rebounds, we'll be good.
And I completely agree with you, Brody, about the 3-point shooting. As we know, Nebraska's defense is not a 3-point guarding defense, and it's really going to depend on how well Oregon shoots the three. They've been shooting the three just about 34% from there this season, which is not the best, not the worst, but they're going to need to stroke some threes tomorrow night if they want a chance in this game and just hit from the field as a whole.
Yeah, Brody, I also agree with your statement on like the trap defense and not letting anybody low. I think the biggest aspect of the defense has been the trap defense because we've made teams kick the ball out. And as you said, well, we're not really a three contesting team, but I love the fact that we make them shoot from beyond the arc rather than those easy low shots.
All right, now guys, let's get into our keys to victory. I personally think Nebraska needs to come out and win the rebounding battle because Oregon is weakened when they are out rebounded. So if you can get in there, get rebounds, they tend to lose games. Need to force and convert turnovers early, disrupt the rhythm, and limit perimeter efficiency. Contest every three, which is something Nebraska already does very well. They just need to keep doing it. And then on the offense side of the ball, you need to have efficient ball movement, create those drive kick opportunities from guys like Sam Hoiberg driving and dishing into the corner to open three for Price Sanford, to Marcus Lawrence. And then if it comes down to it, we need to have smart clock management late and have a ton of free throw discipline in those final minutes.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, on my previous point of BK, I really think we're going to see an absolute masterclass from BK tomorrow night. I think he's going to fill up that stat sheet. He's going to have probably 12 plus rebounds. I love that. I think he's going to do that. And then another note with your free throws, that's been a little. We haven't been going to the dish enough. Like in the Indiana game, when we were down 16, we weren't going to the paint. We weren't drawing fouls. But what actually turned the tide in that game was not us hitting 3-point shots or any of that. It was they were driving to the basket, and I think there was 3 straight possessions during that game where we were at the free throw line shooting because we were driving to the dish and drawing fouls. So I think the biggest key is going to be getting to the basket and getting to the free throw line and converting on those shots.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, offense is going to be a huge key in this game, and something that goes along with that, I think, is just scoring in the transition. I mean, we know Sam Hoiberg and other guys that are quick like him are going to force steals and turnovers as a whole, and I think one of the biggest keys to this game is just transition points. Like, if we can get Sam Hoiberg to steal that ball and dart downfield, like he had a pick 6 against Ohio State, if we can get just a couple of those plays in this game, shouldn't be hard for Nebraska to take away this win.
Yeah, Brody, going off of you, I agree. BK is going to show up, and I think that's might be our biggest key to winning is just shutting him down since their point guard might be out.
All right, and now we will get into our predictions. Brody, I will let you start, and then we will go off that.
Alrighty. I'm getting some deja vu from that Wisconsin game. I really think we're going to go out there. It's our first game back on a little road trip, and PBA is going to be electric. Even if it's an 8 p.m. tip-off, the basketball fans, I honestly think are some of the rowdiest in all of Husker sports because they show up, they care. We've been through some terrible years. I mean, I watched a 10-game losing streak with Hoiberg like probably 4 years ago. I really think these fans are going to light us up. I think we're going to go out there when like something like 80 to like 60 or 80-55. I think we're just going to shut them down and we're just going to light it up on the offensive end.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a different direction with this. I mean, I think this is a huge thing to point out. This season, Nebraska has continued to play down to their competition, and there's no doubt that Oregon is down to their comp tomorrow night. I mean, you look back at the Winthrop game, the USC Upstate, North Dakota, both those games, Nebraska was in a dogfight with those teams, and this is kind of the same situation. So I have this being a little bit of a closer and low-scoring game with defense having a huge impact on it. I will take Nebraska 66 to Oregon 51.
Yeah, well, going off of your point with like the North Dakota game and how we just played down to our competition, I do think that we'll have a little bit of a slow start, and it'll be a 2 to 3 to 4 point difference either way going into halftime. But overall, I think the Huskers will pull it off 66 to 49.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of take Will's side in this. I think that Nebraska has tended to start slow recently against like smaller teams. Like you watched the North Dakota game, games like that. I think we'll have a slow first half, but I think we'll come out in the second half and really make the right coaching adjustments to figure out Oregon. And I would say I think we win like 72-62, something like that.
Okay. I believe the spread is us minus 11.5. So I think
Yeah.
all of us have us winning the spread, which is huge, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that will do it for today's video. We appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, after the game tomorrow, we will be live on Big Red Fever with a post-game reaction. Come in, talk about the game, and we will answer you guys' questions, stuff like that. But we appreciate you guys tuning in, and go Big Red.
Go Big Red.
Go Big Red.
Go Big Red.